protected us here in the darkness. The brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces who nobly stepped forward on the line between us and those who do us harm. Over the generations, we've been able to depend upon their bravery, their dedication, their self-sacrifice, time and time again. And this generation is certainly no different. Young men and women of this generation have been asked to perform on battlefields in Iraq, Afghanistan, standing up against the forces of terror at home and abroad. Without their willingness to give their all required, America would be nothing but a sad footnote in history. Just a place to tell great promise. One of the most solemn and meaningful honors that will be presented to a member of our country's armed forces is Purple Heart. The award represents true sacrifice. It goes to our most valiant warriors who place themselves in harm's way for the good of the country and Congress. They fought. They were wounded for all. In dedication to the principles that continue to make this the greatest country in the world. Today, we are honoring a particularly brave individual, Staff Sergeant Patrick Rogers. Not only served his country in Iraq and Afghanistan, he also served as a medic, which means he really didn't get started until everything started getting really bad. Never worse than on June 1st, 2012, at forward operating base Govenor in Afghanistan. That's not very far from the Pakistani border. That's when a suicide bomber driving a truck with close to a ton of explosives crashed into the base perimeter, collapsing the mess hall where Sergeant Rogers and his fellow soldiers were eating. Rising up out of that rubble, he shrugged off his own injuries and began providing assistance to his wounded comrades, evacuating those even though he had rather horrific conditions himself. Through the breach created by the terrorist blast came a number of insurgents, more than a dozen, heavily armed, loaded down with explosives. Surrounded by heavy fire, Sergeant Rogers rode uncovered in the back of the truck, gathering the wounded, transporting them to the hospital. It wasn't until he was ordered to stop tending to the wounded that he finally relented to allow other medics to take care of his own injuries. By early July, he was recovered enough to go back to duty. And on Independence Day, found himself under enemy fire. This time in the mountains of Afghanistan, dangling by wire under a Black Hawk helicopter, Sergeant Rogers recovered one wounded soldier that was lifted to a 2-foot ledge from the side of the cliff to help rescue 2 others of his comrades. Pain from the injuries that he had sustained in the earlier bombing made all that even that much more difficult. Yet he accomplished his mission. Firmly, he stayed in Fort Hood. Physically, I should say, but his heart back to Galveston, where his beautiful wife, Shelby, TJ, Dylan, and Brody are patiently waiting for his return. So it's my privilege and my humbling honor to present Sergeant Patrick Rogers with the Combat Medic badge, the Air Medal with the for Valor device, and the Purple Heart. So, at your disclosure, if you will publish the order.
Attention orders. Orders number 235-001, Staff Sergeant Patrick D. Rogers is being awarded the Combat Medical Medal, which was created by the War Department in March of 1945 for his actions while under enemy fire on July 4th, 2012, near Bob Herrera in Eastern Afghanistan. Signed on August 22nd, 2012, by Terry J. Jameson, Colonel, Aviation Commanding. Attention to order. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that the President of the United States, authorized by executive order on May 11, 1942, has awarded the Air Medal with C Device for Valor to Staff Sergeant Patrick D. Rogers, 82nd Combat Aviation Brigade, for exceptionally valorous achievement while assigned to Task Force Wolfpack during Operation Enduring Freedom 12-13. His heroic actions during combat operations in Afghanistan on July 4, 2012 contributed to the overwhelming success of the command's mission. His bravery is in keeping with the finest traditions of military heroism and reflects distinct credit upon himself, Task Force Wolfpack, Task Force Pegasus, Combined Joint Task Force 1, and the United States Army. Given under my hand in the city of Washington the 6th day of September 2012, signed John M. McHugh, Secretary of the Army. Attention order. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Purple Heart, established by General George Washington in Newburgh, New York, on August 7, 1782, to Staff Sergeant Patrick D. Rogers, United States Army, for wounds received in action on June 1, 2012, in Afghanistan. Given under my hand in the city of Washington the 6th day of August 2012, signed John M. McHugh, Secretary of the Army.
Ooh.
I would like to thank my family first, my wife, my boys. They put up with a lot of stuff, and my wife helped us immensely. The parents and in-laws, they helped a lot too. Just my whole family. I have an excellent command staff. Have since I started aviation. Always very supportive. The command staff, Fort Hood and WCU right now is very supportive. I'd like just to thank everybody for their support. Thank you, Governor, for this. My kids will remember the house will remember. And that's about it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.